Hello and welcome to the Mouth of Manliness. Right, gonna start the timer.
Start her up.
When I can work out how I did it. There we go.
I still think we should get like a proper little...
Yeah, I was thinking that. Maybe we should get a proper timer. Well, welcome to the Mouth of Manliness.
Welcome.
And hello here, Boston. We haven't said hello to you for a while.
Oh, big up Boston, massive.
So big up the Boston. This is the Mouth of Manliness, an hour of us talking our brains. I'm Nick Noyes, as ever. This is young Bradley Action.
Young.
He's younger than me.
What, by about 4 years?
No, I'm on that. I'm 43. You're 37. 6 years.
Wow.
That's quite a lot.
You were a 6-year-old when I was born.
Yeah. I could be your dad.
Probably are.
That'll make your mum very messed up indeed. We got some shout outs to do.
Oh, yeah, we have, because I forgot to read them last time. There's just there's nothing major. It's just people that we've connected with. Here, Boston, obviously.
Especially Aldous and Todd.
Todd
is the name. He's such a superstar. He's been really patient and lovely, I think.
Todd the God.
Todd the God. Yeah, Todd, you are a superstar. You've been an absolute wonder. And obviously, Aldous for setting all this up.
Totally. Brad Humble.
Brad's humble. We're organised. He does Grum Reaper. I think I'm saying it wrong every time.
Grum Reaper, like...
Grum Reaper. You know, it's Reaper.
Reaper.
Yeah. Anyway, he is coming on in a few weeks' time.
Ah, quality news.
Yeah, he's coming on. I booked him to come in a few weeks. So he's going to come on for maybe 1 or 2 episodes.
I've just had an idea, just as you've said that. I think when he's on, you two should do a picture together, or do a picture each, and then we should give them away as a competition.
That's a good idea.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe we could do one, both draw on the same piece. So it'd be a joint piece of artwork.
Yeah, and then give it away. Throughout this, do it for an hour or whatever, and we'll both sketch on it or whatever.
Yeah, I just worry it might be a bit distracting, but...
yeah, that's true.
We could give it a go.
Yeah.
Especially if he stays for the evening.
Yeah.
Then we could do one. Yeah,
Proper
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a competition, so
yeah, we should
that.
do.
Sounds like a really good idea.
Didn't like the idea of doing it for any kind of gain, but we're not gaining anything from that. We'll just give something away. Be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was thinking I might I could give away some artwork and that as well.
Yeah.
I did agree to give some artwork to one of our long time listeners.
Did you?
The Tramp Man.
Oh, right, yeah, of course, totally.
I've been in touch with him quite a bit this weekend.
He is on my list.
To thank the Tramp Man.
Shovel, not Lovell.
It's Lovell.
Lovell, like shovel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a bit of a superstar. I've been chatting with him loads this weekend. I chat with him quite regularly on the socials, and he was saying I put the thing up about selling art prints. So I'm selling through Legally Assertive.
They're on my list.
We would also like to thank Legally Assertive and Audio UK for their headphones.
They are doing great work.
And for being general all-round superstars.
Yeah.
Also news. They're going to do some t-shirts.
Oh, okay, brilliant.
So we're gonna sell them via Legally Assertive. So by the time you listen to this, they'll probably be out.
That's going to be so amazing.
Yeah. So some of my drawings, I picked 2 to do as t-shirts.
Yeah. So we can wear your artwork.
Yeah. So Legally Assertive has you can buy prints of my artwork, and you'll be able to buy Mouth of Manliness t-shirts.
And what we'll do is, if people take pictures of themselves in the t-shirts, then we'll repost them and stuff. They'll be as famous as us. Everyone wins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you do buy a t-shirt, definitely send us a picture of you with it, and we'll post them on all the socials.
Definitely.
And you'll get a shout out on here as well.
Talking of t-shirts, there's Rachel Wells on social media. She takes photos of things and then reverses or mirrors them and like flowers and stuff. All these other like pictures come out of just mirroring the images, and she sells her artwork online. And I said to her all along that I would wear one on a t-shirt, and I think she's going to do it. She's going to start selling t-shirts, which is really cool.
Sweet.
She's like a super fan, hardcore listener. So that's good. Morgan Gleave, I want to give a shout out to.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, he shared a couple of our bits and just being an inspirational dude, really, because he skateboards and plays harmonica, which is cool as fuck. And his artwork's amazing too.
He's Morgan. He's a little bit older than us, and it's just brilliant because basically he puts on Instagram videos of him like relearning to skateboard.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of get the impression, I don't know Morgan, but I got the impression that maybe he used to skateboard.
He must have done, because he's bloody good at it.
Yeah. And so you see him like in car parks and that, like trying to master tricks. And I don't know, I can't help but be really impressed.
Totally.
And it's inspiring seeing him doing it. And like seeing him progress as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But especially because for me, I could never skateboard. I was always really rubbish at it because I'm just tall and awkward. But I see him doing it, and you just think, you can do anything whenever you want to do it. You know, like there's nothing to be scared of. And I just love, like I find him really inspiring.
Oh, definitely.
And when you said you wanted to shout out, I thought, yeah, definitely.
And as I say, like he's reshared a couple of bits. Mizog Art is another guy who he's got a podcast, and he's been doing loads of art stuff. And I think we might sort of have a conversation about some podcast stuff. My mate Dewey was out in India. I think you've been chatting to him. Steve, Buster BC, Ellie, who we spoke to today.
Yeah, Ellie is. She put a post up recently on social media saying how good we were.
Yeah.
And she kind of shared a story with us today. I'm not going to go into it, but it was just really, really lovely story, and it was really lovely. She said nice things about us, and she's just been a really, really great supporter of us.
Yeah.
So massive love and respect from us to her, really.
I think it's nice. She's been sort of sharing stuff with her fella as well, and like talking about stuff and that. Not talking about him, sorry, but like talking about us to him and stuff, which is a really cool dynamic that I never expected that would crop up. That ladies are listening and sort of thinking, I never thought about maybe my husband thinks this way or that way or anything else, and really sort of opening up about stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to James, my mate James. Shout out to Phil Sharp, John, Georgie, Jeff. That's it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do a little shout out to my band, the Mud Angels.
Oh, yes.
By the time you hear this, the gig would have been and gone, but we've got a gig at the weekend, which is going to be fun.
Oh, that's good.
And all of them have been really supportive of me and this. Like, Jim's been really supportive, sharing stuff. Jim Quinn.
Yes.
And Tony Buckley.
Right, I didn't know Tony
drummer.
was
He's our drummer. He wants to come on, and we were talking about him coming on with his best friend. I knew when I was little. Like my mum was friends with his mum. Yeah. And we're talking about possibly them both coming on.
Oh, wow.
Because they're both, I know Sam Crooks, he worked in mental health for a while.
Yeah.
And Tony was saying like the way they met was really integral around Tony's own like stuff that he's had with mental health. So he said it was a really like cool, interesting story. I'm like, well, I'm all about that.
Do a little Mud Angel special, maybe.
Oh yeah. So shout out to the boys in the band.
Yeah, we won't always do like cheesy radio shout outs and stuff, but it's just so nice that people reach out and take the time to sort of write to us. And it's easy for us to do because we can do what we want.
I agree, and I think it's important. If you can be nice, you should be nice.
Yeah.
And it's important to say thank you to people.
It is.
Like, a lot of people don't. So I feel quite strongly that I want to be able to say thank you to people. And if they hear their name on it, like that might make their day.
Yeah.
Simple as that. You know, like when someone messages us and says something nice, that makes my day.
It really turns my day
sometimes makes
around.
my week.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
it really does.
Like today, I was having a bit of a pony day, and we got a message from Ellie,
Yeah.
and it lifted my day, and it was suddenly like, you know, hold on, I'm involved in something bigger than what I'm doing at this moment.
What was nice as well is
better than this.
I got the message at the same time, and then you messaged me afterwards to say, "Oh, did you see that message?"
Yeah.
So it was kind of like we were all at that little moment of like,
yeah.
"Well, everything's fucking shit," but like, here's this little thing on our device. It's like, "Oh, no, this is all right," you know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's something special's happened today.
Yeah.
Something to feel good about has happened today. So, any listeners, anyone who listens to this regularly, and I think a lot of people do, we record 2 episodes a night, and so this is our second episode of the night, and our first episode we've just done with Peter, the therapist who's helped me out loads, and he's just basically blown our fucking minds for 100%. An hour, really.
Yeah.
Like for me, a lot of those things I'd heard before, and I've had a bit of a low weekend. Like this long weekend has been I've been really low, and he's just totally pulled me out of it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's just reminded me of all these things, and I'm like, of course.
Well, as we covered, it's important to continually learn and grow and work on yourself.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard that one, then you're weird because you've listened to 15 and not 14. But as you would have heard, like maintaining a healthy level of self, looking after yourself, and you know, reading books and going to therapy, and you know, eating healthy and exercise and everything else. You need to constantly maintain it. There's no instant switch.
Yeah.
And hearing things that you've heard before again, it's nice when you get that epiphany moment. Like some of the bits he mentioned, I've heard from various sources and that, but the way he put it across, and when it's actually someone standing in front of you, I wanted to cry through most of it, to be honest. It's like,
really?
It really got me in a couple of bits. But I've not even by what he was saying, but for me to have the opportunity to sit there and give myself 10 minutes to think about those feelings, and then it crops up, oh, bloody hell, yeah, I really have got to sort that out or have a think about that.
It kind of does it in such a way that it doesn't necessarily feel like work, you know, like it's just a bit of a mind switch.
Yeah.
It's just adjusting the way you look at something or you feel about something. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you've got all this work to go and do on yourself. It's like, I've just got to try and maybe think slightly differently about something.
Yeah.
And that can, you know, just that on its own is life-changing.
It really is.
Some of the things he said to me have been totally life-changing.
They're like little nuggets, as I describe them, of like information. And as I said, that episode, I mean, I get to obviously listen back through all the episodes, and I believe in each episode there's loads of little bits that mainly you sort of cover where I go, oh yeah, I must remember to do that, or I'll take that away. People like to have something they can sort of take with them.
Yeah.
But that episode that just happened, there's loads in there that I will I'll listen back and I'll go, oh yeah, what was that thing? And I'll actually go back and listen to and take something from it. So it's pretty cool. And as I said, it's kind of like, if you've listened to all the podcasts, which you must have done, because as I say, you're nuts if you're listening to number 15 first. Nick talks about Peter, and not too explicitly, but the fact that you sort of go and see him, and you've mentioned bits that you've kind of got from him.
Yeah,
it's nice for you both to be in the same room. And I think we probably could have done loads more hours of, you know, bits and bobs and everything else, but it's nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was nice. I felt when he came in, I think my wife felt like, oh shit, because he came into the house and it was like, oh, you know, oh, it's a mess.
Oh yeah, there was a little bit. I thought of like, is this a bit kind of going to be weird for you?
Are we jumping the barrier?
Is it like a teacher coming around or something like
that?
No,
I
not a teacher, but you know what I mean, like that level of.
I just like I went to his house one time.
Oh right,
for therapy. So that kind of bridge that we jumped over that barrier, and I just guess we got on really well. So we ended up talking about like talking about music and things like that, and then he would tell me a bit more about his life, which a lot of therapists won't do.
No.
A lot of therapists keep that very strong boundary, whereas as time progressed, and I think it's just because we got on, but that barrier was kind of jumped, and actually that means a lot to me, and that works for me, you know.
Yeah.
But some people, they need that firm wall
Closed
there,
door, the wall,
because they struggle to, they won't get anything out of it without that.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't really work that way. So what I did want to say is your beard's looking fucking fantastic.
Do you know what? It
looks really thick. It looks like a proper thick, full beard.
I've stopped.
Didn't look as thick before.
I stopped doing stuff to it. I've stopped trimming it, and I've just let it do what it wants to do. Which I'll probably regret when I go on holiday.
But it does look like a proper beard now. I'm sure it looked as thick before.
Yeah, if I pull it out of the
Can
side,
they see it on the camera?
Yeah, they can just about see it, I think. You can't hear it. Oh, you might be able to hear it.
But basically, if you're listening, Brad has got his beard. It went from a kind of a bit wispy, and like you could see through it a bit, and now it's like full on proper man beard.
Yeah. I don't know.
I can't even. Mine don't even go near that. It's not even worth me getting my beard long.
You have got a long beard though.
Oh, it's not really, but it's really thin, like my barnet. Although my barnet, I dyed my hair at the weekend, so my barnet looks a bit thicker.
It does look nice.
My lustrous barnet.
So that was the thing. Oh, I was on a site somewhere, and a painter was talking about a radio competition he heard, and the guy, when he said, "Oh, what's your name and where'd you come from?" He said his name was Dickie Bigwig from High Barnet. And it really tickled me. Like, it's always stuck with me to think like someone might have big hair and live in High Barnet. But what's funny was how much it tickled him, because he was just walking around telling everyone. It was pretty sweet, really. Yeah, it's just funny what sticks in your head.
It's funny, it's saying what sticks in your head. When I played in the band Lilo with Stuart from
episode 8,
episode 8 next week. We recorded in High Barnet we did 2 weeks recording this one rehearsal place.
Brilliant.
Not rehearsal place, in the studio.
Yeah.
But it ended up being broken up because they were using ADATs, which kind of really prehistoric now.
Yeah.
But like the system went down, so we did a week and then another week, like weeks later. But we absolutely loved it because it felt like we were living, like we stayed there.
Amazing.
And we would go out every night because you could get on. It was on the Northern Line. Just go up to Camden, just get fucking wankered and come back, and it was the best. We probably lived our rock and roll dream for 2 weeks.
That.
It was really, really good.
That's so good.
It was a bit, like I had been in the studio. It just bores me to tears though.
No, I love it. I could live there. I really could. Well, I did for a long time.
It's alright if you're doing something, but if you're a guitar player, you ain't doing a lot.
No.
And I didn't really know that much about stuff. Like now I know loads about pedals and I'd be like, right, I want to get it to do that and I want it like that. But then again, I recorded with Mud Angels recently and I didn't do any of that. I just went bosh.
Yeah.
And then fucked off, really.
Sometimes though, it's the best way.
Yeah.
In and out.
So, you know what? I haven't really prepared. I haven't even really thought a lot.
Nah, I mean, what's mad is like talking to Peter. Like, I'm aware that I need to go and have some more therapy and stuff like that, and I think he's encouraged me to possibly go and do that. But like as we mentioned, and one of my scripts is like not having the time or the money to kind of do it. I think when I get back from holiday, I'm going to start looking in that direction. I think.
I think for my observations, I think you need to do something. Because from what like sometimes I think like you're really not all that all right.
No.
And sometimes when we talk about it, it becomes more and more clear that you're not all that all right, really.
No, and what's scary is I go throughout the day going, yeah, I'm all right. and that's probably the worst thing. But what did it this weekend was my mum pulled Kate to one side, and she was like, Brad's not right, is he? And she was like, nah, like, it's got a lot going on. But in my mind, if I can just sort my work situation out.
Yeah, that's not going to sort out the problem. Like, for me, I know that you've got fucking loads of shit that you probably really need to talk about.
Yeah.
And to make sense of and to get through.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like when we're here, I really want to dig into it.
Yeah.
And I want to, like, pull things out. And I think, like, when we had that really heavy episode the other week.
Episode 10.
And I was like, you know, and I said, like, this is not really the platform to be.
No, you are right.
Trying to break, because it's almost like break through.
Yeah.
And make sense of it. And, like, really here isn't really the platform to do it.
No.
Because it's just too fucking public.
Yeah.
And it's alright to talk about things, and it's alright to talk about things in detail.
Yeah.
And, like, it's kind of easier, it's alright for me to do it because I feel like I've dealt with most things.
Yeah, that makes sense. You can kind of paraphrase it, not paraphrase it as such, but like you can kind of like break it down a little bit more, and you're aware of, I won't go down that route, or I won't go down this route. I mean, for me, I'm like I said, I'm kind of worried that it's stuff that I don't remember, or as we learnt the last episode, it's repressed memories.
Stuff that was so traumatic that you've almost locked the door. And it still hurts you, but you don't really know what it is.
And when we spoke about it the other day, I was almost scared to think back to see if I could think anything, because I think I'm scared of what I'll find out. But as we discovered on the last episode, it could be as simple as my teddy went missing and I was 2, and that is experiencing loss and it didn't come back. And then obviously you would have heard in the episode, and that sort of plays into different feelings and it can manifest in different ways in adulthood. So I think it's probably just little bits and bobs like that, really. I mean, old-fashioned upbringing and...
Yeah. Like, what was a big breakthrough for me was just realising actually how much impact, like, my granddad actually had on me, and how much that had really screwed me up. Just that constant telling you you're not good enough. And then, like, my dad kind of backed that up. Like, it wasn't consciously, it wasn't bad to me, but I think because my granddad was so bad to me that I was almost like looking to my dad to tell me it's all right. Like, I needed a man to say it's okay.
Yeah, or at least like afterwards go, I know he was a bit shit, take no notice of him, he's old or whatever, like a bit of balance.
Yeah.
Because we haven't elaborated on this much. You've spoken about it like a few times, but like is it as simple as that old school mentality, old ways of thinking and everything else?
Oh, what do you mean? Like, a boy should be a boy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think... So, this is where the going into it does help, because going into it allowed me to talk more freely about it. And then I was able to kind of talk to my mum about how my granddad had been. And then my mum was able to tell me a bit about my granddad's upbringing. And then I was able to understand a bit more why he was like he was. So basically, it was kind of... So the way it worked was, I'm the only boy. So I've got 2 older sisters. My granddad had a daughter.
Yeah.
So he'd had no boys. So I was the only boy. And I think he felt that he needed to be kind of hard and tough on me, so that, in many ways, so that I could then grow up and look after and be the man for my mum, almost.
All right.
And I think, like, he didn't necessarily think my dad was able to do any of that. So I think he was hard on me because he felt like I needed to be strong. Mm-hmm. So that manifested in basically him constantly calling me a big girl's blouse, always telling me that, like, forcing me to learn, like he'd fucking, like, you know, virtually dragging me out to the car to show me how to fix a car, show me how to fix things all the time.
Wow.
Show me what tools to use. And then rather than going, oh, good job, he'd go, oh, you're not doing that right, you're not doing that right, that's wrong. And it was like, you know, I was into art and music, and it was like, that's a waste of time. What are you doing that for? That's a waste of time. Like, how are you going to earn money doing that? Why do you need... You've already got a guitar. What do you need another guitar for? Drawing's not going to do anything for you. You're not going to make any money drawing. How are you going to, like, be a man and support a family? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, like, but my granddad, right... And he did it like that. He was like, really, he'd be right. He was always going, Nicky, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? He always called me Nicky, which is why I hate being called Nicky. And he was, why are you doing that? What are you doing that for? Why are you doing that? Where are you going? Why are you going there? Why are your friends around? You should be helping your mum.
Wow.
You know, like
constant,
so my mum worked, so like he would pick me up from school like 2 or 3 times a week. They were always round at the weekends.
Oh, right.
He was always fucking there, my granddad, always there. And so it's always like, he would come in the house and he'd come and look for me.
Wow.
I used to hide behind the sofa, hide in wardrobes.
That's so sad.
And he'd come and look for me, and I knew he'd just come in and look for me to have a go at me for something. All the time, having a go at me about something. And I think... And like that was from as you know, as far back as I can fathom.
Wow.
He was like that. And even if he did something nice, like one time he was like, right, come on, I've got a bike for you. He didn't have a bike for me, he had a load of bike parts. And the condition of me having the bike was that he would teach me how to put it together. But as I'm doing everything wrong.
Oh, God.
And it's just constant like that all the fucking
Something
time.
that potentially could have been quite a nice thing to do, really.
Yeah,
you think,
but he just did
that'd
it
be
in
nice.
a horrible way.
Wow.
And like so, so he picks us up from school, pick me and my sisters up. He'd go and get us some sweets, but he'd always say he'd give my sisters 50p, and he'd give me 10.
What the hell?
Like, I think it was just right, well, you've got to learn that things don't come easy, son.
Wow.
You know, it's like that. You know, you've got to learn. And he's like right from like the dot, he'd be saying, no, you should save that money. Don't spend your money. You should save your money. And you know, as I found out later on, he'd had some failed businesses and things, so he was always really frightened of losing all his money and that kind of thing. But he was kind of brought up that way, so he felt like he needed to instill in me that kind of being a man. So that is why, that's almost why this is called Mouth of Manliness.
Yeah.
You know, it all comes back to that. And then, so I had that from him. I then had my mum who would go so far the other way. You know, it's like, oh, don't worry, like, pouring me with love.
Yeah.
So obviously I was going in that direction, but it's almost like I didn't have any balance in there.
Yeah.
And then basically, I'm almost like looking to my dad to say, oh, it's all right, don't worry, you know, he's a bit of a wanker. But I looked to my dad, and my dad, I know it sounds really shit, but it's almost like my dad looked away.
Yeah.
You know, like I'd look to him, Dad, I'm all right, aren't I?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, I'm watching Tomorrow's World.
Wow.
Keep it down.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he just looked away. So he didn't actually do anything wrong, but he just wasn't engaged with me. So, so he's looking away. Was almost like saying, well, he's right, isn't he?
Because he'd been through the same sort of thing.
No, my dad, I don't know. I'm not sure with my dad. It's hard to really understand because his parents were really lovely.
Right.
And my grandma's still alive, and she's always been one of the loveliest people I've ever known.
Yeah.
My grandpa was lovely. He was very manly, but I can't imagine he was like that with my dad.
No.
Because I've seen him with him. Like they would lose everything for him.
Right.
But I just think because my dad didn't then compensate at all.
He could have been at a good centre of balance, like you were
He
saying.
could have been the one who's
middle...
gone, no, you're all right. Look, you don't need to be able to do that. It's fine. You
Yeah.
know, like, that's kind of all I really need.
Just say, oh yeah, just smile and nod at him, and
Yeah.
once you're done,
it'd be all right.
it's gone. And
like, you know, I'll spend some time with you.
yeah,
But because he didn't do that, it was almost like he was going, yeah, well, he's right, isn't he? And then as I got older, my dad was also a bit like, you know, I went to university doing art, and like I always kind of felt like he kind of said as much at one point that, you know, like, you're not going there just to DOS, you know, like, it's almost like he didn't approve of my choices, because I always felt with my dad that he never liked working, and he didn't get to do things that he wanted to do because he had to go and work.
Yeah.
So why the fuck should I get to?
Yeah.
Why should I get to go and do art and have a flight of fancy when he's had to go and get a job that he hates? I should have to go and get a job that I hate because he had to.
It's so funny. Like, I want to empower Buddy to do dancing and art, and like I'll help. I'll go the extra mile to help him do it, so he hasn't got to go through what we've been through. You know.
So that's why it's kind of looking back on it, and as I say, like Peter said, once you understand it a little bit more, you can almost then start to shift it. So rather than being angry with my dad, I'm almost like I can have some empathy with his position a bit.
Yeah, of course.
Like, actually, yeah, he really hated his job. And like, I think, you know, they got married quite young. So I imagine there was lots of things he would have liked to have done.
Yeah.
But didn't feel he could.
Yeah.
But then I think he was just a bit bitter. And it was like, well, you're the boy. They probably wouldn't say it to my sisters.
No.
You know, like, oh, well, you should be doing this, because it just wasn't that way.
No.
You know, this was, you know, many years ago.
Yeah.
Like, you might not do it in the same way now. But I always kind of thought, he was like, well, you're the boy. Like, I've had it shit, so should you.
Yeah.
You know, you should have a shit time. Like, why are you having all the fun?
Wow.
Like, what? You shouldn't be allowed to do that.
No.
Not that he's ever really said that.
No, but
I think it was because he didn't say anything. I just almost made up that narrative.
Yeah.
And I was very angry with my dad because of that. You know, and I was very angry with him because, like, you know, and there was many times when I'm a kid and I'm like, Dad, come and play. Dad, teach. You know, like, I say, like, I fucking hate sport. It's because I'm scared of sport.
Yeah.
And I used to ask my dad to come and play cricket with me, or tennis, or basketball, or something, and he never did.
No.
There's always a reason not to. Or basically, he was watching telly and he weren't.
Yeah.
And he didn't. So that has really instilled this hate of sport, this fear of, you know, if someone's kicking a ball around, I'm really, really not comfortable.
Yeah.
And that all comes from that. It's like, because I didn't have it modelled to me.
No.
And then, like, the one thing, like, then my sister was really good at swimming, and my mum and dad got really involved with the swimming club, and they seemed really happy. And my family seemed really united, but I couldn't go in water because of my ear problems.
Oh, right, of course.
So I could have no part of it, you know, like, I couldn't enjoy it with my dad because I couldn't go in the water. So it's like, again, I'm a fucking problem, I'm not good enough. So, like, that's where all my shit comes from. It really does. Wow. It all comes from that. And then my mum was so far the other way that she kind of made me, like, almost emotionally literate. And that almost made it worse, because then I'm like, oh, I feel this way. And I like, you know, like, rather than just pushing it away and getting on with it like other people do, I kind of learnt that, oh, it's this. And you don't have to push it away. It's okay.
Oh, right.
So everything just hit me that bit harder.
Yeah.
But so that's years of therapy, just getting to the point where I'm like, I still get really angry about it, and it's like, oh, I'm angry with men, or I'm angry with the men in my family, and But I'm learning not to be so angry now, because all the time I'm angry, it's actually just feeding that bit in my brain going, I told you so.
Yeah.
And almost like my brain's going. So what happened, I think, is that I kind of went through puberty from those early bits, like Pete was saying, that early bit in your life, like you get told that, so you believe it because you're so young.
Yeah, you believe what your parents say. But
So
was it age 1 to 6?
Yeah. So that would have been right all the way through there. So you then believe that of yourself, even if you don't even notice it, but you believe it of yourself. And then you kind of go through puberty, and that's, that's all you know. That's all I know. And my brain, my brain, when it's comfortable, is all of those things.
Yeah. So
now I kind of know that when I'm not happy or if something bothers me, normally it's because I feel insecure about something. It's pretty much always that.
And you've got the ability to kind of pick out where it's come from. Like, how often, do you go back to that, like the stuff we've spoken about with your granddad and stuff, much in therapy? Like, it's not as black and white as that, I guess.
No. I found once I'd kind of really made sense of it, I didn't need to go back to it so much, because it was more. So it wasn't so much. It was my granddad. It was like, because if I keep doing that, then I'm almost like giving it power. I'm giving my granddad power, and then that makes it worse. It was more about, right, I know why I don't feel well, because I'm insecure. And I'm insecure because of that.
Yeah.
So now it becomes more about me saying, why am I insecure? So if I'm feeling bad, what do I feel bad about? That's because I feel insecure. And I'm like, and it is like, I don't need to be insecure, because actually that doesn't really matter.
No.
Or am I just worrying about the future and I can't control that?
Yeah.
Or am I dwelling on the past? And I'm like, no, I've done that now. I kind of consciously say,
how did he put it?
Didn't
he say if you're in the past, if you're depressed, anxious,
it's the future.
It's the future, yeah. Which is a really cool way of looking at it.
It really sums it up.
Yeah.
So you think, like, my main thing is depression. I'm depressed because I'm always always going backwards. I'm always going back to things. And those things shape the way I view the world.
Yeah, of course.
If I deal with those things, and then I stop viewing the world through that, and past trauma, then I feel better. Yeah, and anxiety, obviously, when he says things like that, and you're like, of course.
Yeah.
Anxiety is worry about something that's going to happen, which is probably not going to happen. Is that breaking that?
Yeah, I'm holding it though. It's all right.
We're going to have to do.
One of the mic stands is coming down, but I don't want to play about with it too much, because if you're listening with your earpods on the train, it'll go crack, crack, crack. I'll just hold it like old school.
So essentially, though, that I feel that I've been pretty solidly in therapy for about 5 years, and most of my therapy pretty much comes back to that, and now I actually feel like I feel like very much a different person now, and I feel like that was me. But it's not me now.
Do you worry about, obviously, you got kids.
Yeah.
So at some point, you're going to be a granddad. So, not worry, it's the wrong word, but do you give any thought to being a granddad?
I will be. I've had a good grandparent model to me, my grandma. All she would do is go. She would just shower you with love and buy you stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, and that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
It's funny because sometimes, my mum does that with my kids. Like, she showers them with love and buys them stuff, and she's lovely, and they love her. Every so often, you can see her trying to teach them something. Or don't
little
do
lesson.
That. It's dangerous. And I'm like, stop it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, with so it wasn't just my granddad. My granddad was, you know, he traumatised me. There's no, like, that is essentially it. I said, like, he emotionally abused me.
Yeah.
You know, and that sounds like very strong
It
terms.
does. As soon as you said that, I was like, whoa, that's like a real...
It sounds like strong terms. It was only when, like, I said that aloud the other day, and I was like, that's exactly what he did.
He's not still alive, is he?
No. When he died, I fell apart.
Wow, really?
Yeah, totally fell apart. But yeah, I would say he emotionally abused me because of the outcome. So, but it wasn't just him. His wife, my granny, was nearly as bad.
All right.
Not worse, just a little bit not as bad.
Wow.
So, like, my mum was really... my mum was... Like, they were good parents to my mum. But, like, my mum often talks about my granny, like, really fondly, and, like, they were really close.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't like you talking about them, Mum. Don't even like you talking about Granny, because it brings back all that trauma. Like, my granny was really horrible to me as well.
Wow.
You know, and, like, more often than not, she was just going... I think it was the fact that she didn't do anything, but it made me feel like her and my granddad were totally in it together.
Cahoots, yeah.
And she was really hard on me as well. She spent her whole time going, you don't drink your drink until you've emptied your mouth. You know, like,
with food.
Yeah, just that, like, every little, tiniest of things.
Those little Victorian kind of rules. Yeah.
I remember once feeling like the most important thing in the world on that day was that she teach me how to peel and cut potatoes and work out how many you need depending on how many people there are. And I thought she was joking. And she weren't fucking joking. She was really angry. Like, I thought she was joking. It's like, no, you've got to learn this. And it's like they felt the need to teach me these important things. So they probably thought they were doing me, being really good to me.
It's weird, but, like, you do learn stuff off nans and granddads and stuff, but then they plonk you in front of the telly with a barrel of biscuits you're not supposed to eat. Or you go and do some colouring with them or something.
Didn't do that. No, they certainly didn't do that.
I know that's a generalisation, but it just seems like it's like going to boarding school every week.
Yeah, so
what I imagine it to be like.
Like, we would go there on Sunday for, like, a Sunday dinner to my dad's parents, and I'd go there every day. I loved it. Like, they just spoiled me, and they were lovely. My mum and dad, like, they just took over, so my mum and dad would be quiet. I didn't feel judged by my dad because they were just being lovely. But yet, like, still, like, my granny and granddad would come out. They were around every Sunday morning without fail. And my granddad would come up to my room to get me up. Why are you not up?
Oh my
Why are
God.
you not downstairs? Why aren't you mowed the lawn? Why are you walking on the grass? You know, like...
Wow.
Absolutely everything. And my granny was just as bad.
Yeah.
And, like, when my granny died, my mum... so upset, and I'm like, fucking yes.
Yeah.
Like, their fucking reign of terror is over.
Yeah.
Like, even when my granddad died, like, I went to see him in hospital probably the day before he died, and he fucking had a go at me.
Jesus, really?
Yeah, on his deathbed.
Well, till the very end.
He was like, well, I'm surprised to see you here.
Oh my God.
You're not still smoking, are you?
Oh no.
But he talked to me really aggressively.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's been so many times when I've been like, I might just, like, I've just thought, right, I'm going to go and smash his grave up.
Wow.
I'm going to go and fucking do it. And I'm like, no. Like, laps at my mum. But, you know, I want to do something. I want to hurt him.
Yeah.
Like he hurt me. You see, it all comes back. When I start talking about it, it comes back. But I feel much the same about my granny, really. She was when my granddad died, she became nicer. But she still was pretty arse.
Yeah.
You know,
but as
like,
you say, like, you've had points when you can kind of think, oh, it's because of their upbringing or their mum and dad.
Yeah,
a bit of a balanced view on it, kind of thing.
It did help.
I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. To be honest, it sounds horrible.
No. So my mum explained a bit more about their upbringing, and like the adversity that they'd been through, and that did make me feel mildly better. At least it meant that I could understand it a bit more.
Yeah.
But I think they were very much like, you're the boy, you will do this right, and you will
Wow.
learn. Your dad's not teaching you, you know, like your dad's not interested, he's not teaching you, so we'll teach you. You know, if that's how it felt.
The thing is, as we learnt from speaking to Peter, like, your dad did teach you and dad did influence you, but in loads of other ways that were subconscious, and there's loads of great qualities that you've probably got from him that, you know, obviously I don't know about, but like, we were always learning in different ways kind of thing. But I suppose it's that if they can't gauge that, it can't be seen or spoke about, or whatever. They're just doing the kind of, right, you need to do this, you need to do that, and everything else.
I think that what was... So I always felt a bit like that with my dad. And then a few times, like he's been pretty out of order to me. And it tended to come at times when I've been ill since I was a kid. You know, like I've had mental health problems since I was 9.
Mm.
So I've not been well for a long time. You know, it's not like... But kind of later on in my life, he's done some things that weren't cool. And it just backs it all up. You know, in my brain, just backs everything up. All the shit that I say to myself, it just totally just went...
Legitimised it.
Right, that was all legitimate.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm only just recovering from it. You know, that was 20 years ago. I'm only just recovering from it. From some of that stuff. Like, you know, it just completely backed it all up. And it fucked me up really badly. Because especially at times when I was, like, it was particularly out of order at one point when he was quite aware that I was not coping. And I'm not going to go into the details because I just think he might listen to it and I don't really want to go into the details. But basically, that's what it served to do, is to back it up. It's like, yes, I am shit. No, I'm not a fucking man. I'm not what I should be. I'm not anything that is expected of me. My granddad was right. You fought it forever. And now you're fucking rejecting me.
Mm.
It's like, I am a cunt, aren't I? It's like, I am all of those things. And I've not moved on, you know. I'm still all those fucking things. I'm still that piece of shit that I was told I was when I was 5. Because that's the last time I can remember being happy. Was being that really, really young.
Yeah.
I mean, I have been happy since. But not in a way that isn't tainted.
Like a pure innocence happy.
So whenever I've been happy, I'm normally I don't think I've been happy for any long period of time in my life since I was a tiny boy. There's always been fleeting moments when I'm like when I met my wife, like there was a really good year that I can, when I think back to it now, that was more good, that, you know, that was a happy time.
Yeah.
But the rest of the time, I've been unhappy pretty much, with small glimmers along the way. But normally what happens is something good happens, and then my brain goes, you're not fucking worth that. You know, like that part of my mind's going, well, you know, it's tainted straight away by saying, that's not going to last. You know, you're feeling it now, that's going to be gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that is that constant, and that comes back to that feeling of you're not good enough, you don't deserve it. And all of that is my granddad and my dad.
Wow.
It really is.
So powerful.
It's just fucking, but you know what it is? It's as black and white as that.
Yeah.
When I really think about it. And the thing is, like, I kind of knew all of this, but I didn't really know it. You know, like...
There must have been elements, like, being as young as you were as well, you must have thought, oh, like, all old people are moany, or, like, did you kind of normalise it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I used to say, but you might even hear me say it from time to time now, Oh, I fucking hate old people.
Really? Wow.
And I vehemently disliked all old people apart from my grandma.
Yeah.
And I didn't like old people. And I still find myself thinking it now, but it's not true. You know, it's not true. That's wrong.
It's just in your experience of that particular person.
My experience was that. And that tainted my view of old people.
Yeah.
So whenever I saw an old person, I basically saw like they looked at me like my granddad looked at me.
Wow. But as Peter said, we pigeonhole people.
Yeah.
And you've touched on that before anyway, but like our brain instantly judges and pigeonholes people.
Yeah, to make sense.
Yeah.
No, I fucking hated old people. Vehemently hated old people. I remember like when we did Lilo, our managers asked us to do like this kind of like a sleeve thing, and they asked us questions, and it was like likes and dislikes, and my dislike was old people.
Oh wow!
And I remember my grandpa had a copy of it because I was proud.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What's this you don't like old people?" I was like, "Well, Grandad." But it's funny because like if my grandpa would go, "Oh yeah, he was really horrible to you," and I'd be like, "Yeah." No one ever fucking stuck up.
No, I must admit, like, maybe it's easy for me to feel this way because I'm hearing it all now. But I think in those moments, if I knew about it, I'd have to say something.
Yeah, and what I needed was a man to stick up for me.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have even needed to be a horrible thing. It would have just been, yeah, you can do all of that stuff, but you know. That's how you do it.
Yeah,
let's have a look at
it.
Yeah. Let's just
like, here, I'll show you I'll show you what they mean.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Yeah.
But it needed to be a man, I think.
Yeah.
Because that just so I just lost all. So I just lost like my sense of self was really shit. So I ended up then you just weigh yourself up against other men because you just think, well, I'm a really shit man. You know, like I'm not a good enough man. So that is where all the issues with men comes from.
Yeah.
And that's why this is Mouth of Manliness.
It's so crazy because you're really good at loads of things.
Well, this is funny. The other day I was really upset about something. And it was. And I was kind of saying to myself, I'm really shit. My fucking mental health. I'm just fucking really shit. My mental health has just fucking ruined my life, and then my wife was going, "But you're so good at so many things." I'm like, you know, like you don't believe it. I do know I'm good at things. You know, like people. I've got to the point now when I think, yeah, I'm pretty good at doing drawings, but then my mind's you know underneath that it's saying, you know, like if someone said, "Can you draw me so and so?" I find that the weight of it too much.
Yeah.
I can draw in a kind of my own thing.
Yeah. Which is cool as fuck.
But it's almost like if someone else says, "Can you do it?" It's like, oh, I'm not that good.
Is that because you then have to adhere to what they think you've got to get out of their head?
It's because I then don't feel like I'm good enough.
Right, okay.
So I find it really hard to go past that barrier. So it's like, you know, it's only now that I think, oh, I'm all right on guitar. Because for so long, it's like, well, I can't, you know, if someone goes, "Can you play that?" I'm like, "No."
It's funny because I think that's
note?
a kind of curse of guitarists, and that no one ever thinks they're good enough. And if you speak to Eric Clapton, he'll have people that he wants to be as good as. And I think, and not to belittle what you're saying.
I think that's bigger than just guitar players, isn't it? I think most people, not many people are that comfortable saying I'm really good at something.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Because everyone just goes, "Oh, you're fucking arrogant."
Yeah.
Not many people like to say I'm good at something.
No.
Like I've said to you, like you're really fucking good at loads of things. And like,
yeah, it makes me go weird.
Yeah, I said, well, you did a thing on the piano the other day, and I was like, "Sarah, he can only fucking play the piano as well."
I can't though. I can play like little bits. He came round
here, he was playing the guitar better than me.
No, I knew you thought that. I shouldn't. But then there's no better than.
No. But listen. That's what I'm doing there is I'm being insecure.
Yeah.
It don't actually matter because I'm like, if I'm honest with myself, I'm good at what I do.
You're great at it.
So like I'm good at playing in the band and making things up.
Yeah.
I'm good at that, and I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
And but then in the same respect, so I'm basically being insecure, and then I'm saying it to you, and you're like, no, I can't hear it. And it's like we've both got it wrong.
Yeah.
We should be just going, oh, thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just that twist, rather than going, oh, I'm embarrassed, just go, oh yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I worked pretty hard on that.
Yeah.
And I worked hard on it, and now I can do it.
Yeah.
So I should feel pleased about that.
Yeah.
That's not arrogant.
It's an odd thing to think about, because you think, like, why else am I doing it? Like, why else are you playing guitar? Why am I playing piano? You don't play it. I mean, I do play it for myself, but ultimately, it's an instrument that makes noise. Chances are someone else is going to hear it. So at some stage, you're going to gauge an opinion on it, whether you want to or not. Someone will hear it or see it, and someone will say, oh, that's good or that's bad, whatever. Yeah. So it should be the most easy
exactly
thing.
What you want to hear.
Yeah,
It should be, oh, thank you. I really appreciate that.
If it ain't, it's weird, isn't it? We've all got our own like stuff around it. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, stiff upper penis.
But I do think, like, you know, like for you more than me, for you should just go, yeah. Because like, I'm like, when I see you, I'm like, fucking hell, he's really good at loads of fucking things. And like, just doing the filming and that, I'm like, initially, when we kind of agreed to do the Here Boston, hello.
Howdy. I don't know why I say howdy. I shouldn't really.
Like, I was desperate because I really wanted to do it, and I felt massively insecure that I couldn't do it. And then I felt insecure that I was reliant on you to do it, and then that made me feel guilty. And then it's like, and then you just go around in this little spiral of shit, and it essentially comes down to, oh, I'm shit, aren't I? And it's like, why am I doing that? Brad knows how to do it, and he's good at it. So, yeah, I'd like to be able to do it, to take the burden off, but I shouldn't be fucking punishing myself.
No, definitely not. It was never, never a question that we weren't going to do it. We filmed one and then we stopped filming them because it's a ball ache.
See, that's not what we're talking about. So you're going into the, well, I want to make you feel better. Like,
all right, yeah.
It's all right. Like, and also that kind of, I'm excusing myself because of this, and
you
know, like you said, the script.
Yeah.
It's not about that.
No.
What we're talking about is me going, I shouldn't feel insecure about it.
Definitely not.
And you don't need to apologise.
No.
You know, like I think those are hang-ups that we could both work on.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking stop punishing myself, and you don't need to feel. No, again, that's you punishing yourself. So they're the same.
Yeah, it is.
And we don't need to do either of them.
We should just be busy getting on with what we're getting on with.
And it's just stupid, isn't it?
It is fucked, isn't it?
That's what I mean. Like, that's therapy. You talk it through, and you're like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Why do I do this to myself all the time?
It's just all that learned stuff we don't even notice that we're doing.
No, but you drag all that from the past.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, as a child, you probably were desperately trying to make everyone happy.
Totally.
Maybe it wasn't that happy at home, or your parents didn't get on, or something like that. So then you spent your time trying to make everyone happy so that your parents got on better, for example.
Yeah.
You know, like those kind of things.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it'd be something along those lines.
That all happens, and then that kind of shit, unless someone is there going, lifting you up afterwards, or you've got something else in your life that is so distracting and that doesn't matter, it fucks you up.
Yeah, totally.
And that's kind of how it works. So sometimes if you know what it is, like the shit with my granddad, can I understand it, I can make sense of it, and then slowly you start losing some of the anger. And then you feel quite a lot better because you haven't got this fucking tension in your chest that you feel all the time. No. And when you feel the tension, you instantly go, I'm shit, because it links it all up. That feeling is the thought that says I'm shit. Yeah. So you know what people were saying about the link to the feeling?
That's really key, that is.
Yeah.
And getting in touch with your feelings.
So if you think, where does that horrible feeling come from? Then you understand where it comes from. Then then you can stop. Essentially, you can stop having that horrible feeling. It does what it. I swear by it, and it is just fucking sitting in a room talking to someone who you don't know. That kind of work.
Yeah, but that is the level of it. It's that is the key, because otherwise you're sitting in a room and you've already got the preconceived ideas of, oh, normally I wouldn't speak in this way towards Nick. I won't be like this because Nick might think this, or I might think that, or whatever. That's why counsellors can't counsel friends. You can't just ring up and go, oh, you're a counsellor. Like,
Because
I can't do it.
You go in with baggage.
It's part of the process.
Yeah.
It's very clever.
You
really,
go
really
completely
clever.
Separately.
I feel really... that's it, an hour already.
Hell.
That is fast.
I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface on that.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
One for another day.
That is an hour gone. Can you believe it?
Wowzers. That's such a cool noise.